Dear you, there are sentences that echo longer than arguments ever could. He didn't yell it. He didn't slam anything. He didn't lose control. He looked at me calmly and said, "You're the reason we're not a family anymore." And the temperature in the room changed, not because I believed him, but because I recognized what he was doing. We were standing outside after another one of his just conversations. The tone had been measured all evening, reflective, almost rehearsed. He had talked about growth again, accountability, unity, the importance of keeping things stable. Then I said no, not angrily, not emotionally, just clearly. And that's when it happened. His face didn't twist, his voice didn't rise. He just adjusted his posture slightly, looked at me like he was delivering a fact, and placed the weight exactly where he wanted it. "You're the reason we're not a family anymore." That wasn't frustration. That was positioning. In that moment, he wasn't talking to me as a partner. He was rewriting the narrative in real time, assigning fault, planting a version of history that he could repeat later without raising his voice. It was calculated, because if I'm the reason, then he's the victim of my stubbornness. If I'm the reason, then he tried. If I'm the reason, then the collapse becomes my burden. And the dangerous part is how simple it sounded. No profanity, no aggression, just blame wrapped in calm delivery. Years ago, that sentence would have split me open. I would have defended myself, listed incidents, replayed every night I held things together while he destabilized them. I would have tried to prove that I fought harder than he ever did. But something inside me stayed still, not because it didn't hurt, but because I saw the move. Here's what people don't understand about controlled manipulation. It's not about convincing you immediately. It's about planting doubt that grows later. He wanted that sentence to follow me home. He wanted it to sit with me in the quiet and whisper, "What if he's right?" Because if I question myself even a little, he regains leverage. I could feel the old reflex rising, the need to explain, the urge to correct the record, the temptation to defend my decision. But I didn't give him that. Instead, I asked him one question. "Do you really believe that?" Not defensive, just steady. He didn't answer directly. He pivoted. "I just think you gave up too easily." There it was. Minimization, erasure, reduction of years into a single accusation. He spoke as if the chaos was mutual, as if the emotional damage was a misunderstanding, as if my boundaries were betrayal. And for a split second, anger flashed through me. Not explosive anger, the controlled kind, the kind that makes your chest tight and your jaw firm. Because he knows what that sentence does. It attacks identity. I am not someone who gives up on family. I endured more than I should have for the sake of stability. I swallowed discomfort. I tolerated emotional volatility. I stayed through apologies that came with expiration dates. So when he said I was the reason, what he was really doing was trying to redefine who I am. If he can make me the destroyer, he never has to face being the destabilizer. That's the strategy. And the scariest part? He delivered it like concern, like disappointment, like a man wounded by my choice. That's how narratives get rewritten, quietly. I drove home with that sentence replaying in my mind. "You're the reason we're not a family anymore." And I could feel two versions of myself battling. The old version wanted to call him back, to dissect every word, to demand acknowledgement, to make him admit the emotional wreckage he left behind. The new version stayed silent. But silence doesn't mean numb. It means combustion happening internally. Because here's the truth no one prepares you for. Even when you know you're right, being blamed for the collapse of something sacred hurts. Family isn't casual. It's not just two adults deciding to separate. It's dreams dissolving. It's expectations breaking. It's the image of holidays that won't look the same. And he weaponized that. He reached for the heaviest word in the room and placed it on my shoulders. but I refuse to carry what isn't mine. Being the reason we're not a family anymore implies that I destroyed something whole. What we had wasn't whole. It was fractured long before I chose peace. He mistook my boundary for abandonment. He mistook my clarity for cruelty. And maybe he needs that story to survive his own reflection. But here's the part that still burns. He said it calmly, as if it were truth, as if repetition could make it fact. And even now, as steady as I feel, I can admit something raw. That sentence still echoes, not because I doubt myself, but because it reminds me how easily reality can be reframed by someone who refuses accountability. He thinks I ended a family. What I ended was dysfunction. What I ended was control disguised as leadership. What I ended was survival mode. And if protecting my peace means he tells himself I'm the villain, then so be it. But don't mistake my silence for softness. There's fire here, controlled, contained, but very real. And the next time he tries to rewrite history in my presence, he may not get calm clarity. He may get the full truth, and that truth, it won't be quiet.